stop asking, stop begging, stop pleading with the universe to give you money. Because every time you say, please, I hope I get money, you're pushing it further away. Today, I'm going to show you why you must stop asking and start commanding the universe. And not just for some vague dream. This video is about commanding exactly $80,000 into your life. Not someday, not in theory, but in reality. There are exact words you can speak that align your energy with money so strongly. The universe has no choice but to respond. Most people never receive what they want because they ask from a place of weakness, from a place of lack, instead of standing in their divine authority as creators. But once you shift from asking to commanding, everything changes. Say with me, because in the next few minutes, I'll give you the mindset, the words, and the exact steps to make this $80,000 a reality. And I'm not talking about luck, I'm talking about universal law. So if you're tired of waiting, tired of being broke, tired of praying without answers, this message is for you. Let's unlock the power to command your financial breakthrough. Most people approach money and life with the wrong posture. They come to the universe, to God, or to whatever higher power they believe in. Like beggars at the gates of a kingdom, they ask timidly, please, can I have some money, please? Can I have just enough to pay my bills? And while their hearts may be sincere, their vibration is soaked in lack. Here's the truth. Asking keeps you in waiting, but commanding positions you in authority. Imagine this. A child in a home doesn't beg the parent for food every day. A child knows the food belongs to them by right of relationship. They don't ask, please, may I have bread? They open the fridge, take the bread, and eat because they know it is already theirs. Now, imagine if that same child, instead of claiming their inheritance, stood in the corner of the kitchen begging, please, please, just one slice. I hope you'll give me. The parent would probably look at them with confusion, thinking, why are you asking for what already belongs to you? That's the same way the universe reacts when you keep asking for money. Hoping and wishing instead of commanding money, opportunities, wealth, they are not outside of you. They already exist in the infinite flow of the universe. And the moment you understand this, you stop asking as if you're powerless, and you start commanding as a co-creator. Now, let's clarify this. Commanding does not mean arrogance. It does not mean you shout at the sky demanding that $80,000 fall on your head overnight. Commanding means you are aligning your energy, your words, and your belief in such a way that you speak with authority. Authority is not loud, it is confident. Authority doesn't beg, it declares. Think about the difference between these two statements. Please, universe, give me money. I really need it. I now command $80,000 to flow into my life. It is mine. It belongs to me, and I call it forth now. Can you feel the shift? The first is desperation. The second is ownership. The universe doesn't respond to desperation. It responds to certainty. Let me share a quick story. A man once told me he had prayed for years to get out of debt, but nothing ever changed. One day, he shifted. He stopped saying, I hope I can pay these bills, and started declaring, I am debt-free, money flows to me. My bank account overflows with abundance. Within 6 months, his business had doubled in sales. He didn't stumble into luck. He commanded his reality. Here's the secret. The universe reflects back to you the energy you project. If you ask as if you don't have, you will continue not to have. But if you command as if it's already yours, the universe rearranges circumstances to fulfill your words. Command is about posture. When you stand in command, you are saying, I know money belongs to me. I know abundance is my birthright. I know $80,000 is already in the flow of my life, and I am calling it in now, that shift. From asking to commanding is the foundation of manifestation, because your words are not just sounds, they are vibrations, and vibrations shape reality. So here's your first challenge. Stop asking. From this moment forward, remove the language of begging from your vocabulary. Replace it with declarations. Speak to the universe, not as a beggar, but as a co-creator. When you command with faith, authority, and clarity, $80,000 stops being a wish. It becomes a certainty waiting to appear. Everything in the universe vibrates. Every object, every thought, every emotion, every word carries a frequency. Money is no different. It isn't just paper, coins, or numbers on a screen. It is energy. And like all energy, it vibrates at a certain frequency. The mistake most people make is they try to attract money while vibrating at the frequency of lack. That's like trying to tune your radio to a rock station, but leaving it set on class. Equal, you'll never hear the music you're looking for. The law of vibration states that nothing rests. Everything is in constant motion, from the cells in your body to the stars in the sky. Movement never stops. Your thoughts and feelings are not invisible wishes floating in space. They are vibrations that ripple out into the field of energy around you. And the universe matches vibration with vibration. That means you don't get what you want. You get what you are. Think about this. If you constantly say, I need money, I need money, I need money, what vibration are you sending? Need, lack, desperation. The universe mirrors that back. So your reality becomes more need, more lack, more desperation. But if instead you align with abundance by declaring, money flows to me easily, I am aligned with wealth. $80,000 is on its way to me now. Your vibration shifts. Suddenly, instead of repelling money with neediness, you are magnetizing it with certainty. Let's break it down with a simple analogy. Imagine you are a magnet. When you vibrate at the level of abundance, opportunities, ideas, and resources stick to you naturally. But when you vibrate at the level of lack, you push money away. The magnet is still working. It's just working in reverse. That's why many people work harder and harder, but feel stuck in the same financial cycle. They're vibrating at the wrong frequency. Science actually supports this principle. Quantum physics teaches us that the observer, your consciousness, affects reality. Experiments like the famous double-slit experiment prove that particles behave differently when observed, meaning your attention and intention literally shape matter. When you focus on lack, you reinforce lack. When you focus on abundance, you pull abundance into physical reality. Now, let's connect this directly to the $80,000. That number has a vibration. When you say, I command $80,000 now, you are tuning your inner frequency to match the reality where that $80,000 already exists. Because here's the truth. All possibilities already exist in the quantum field. The version of you who already has $80,000 is not far away. It's a vibration away. When you match that vibration, you collapse it from possibility into physical experience. Here's a real-world example. A woman I once worked with was stuck at a job that paid her $3,000 a month. She always said, I wish I made more. I hope I can find something better. Nothing changed. But when she learned about vibration, she shifted her words and energy. She began declaring, I am aligned with $10,000 a month. It's mine now. Within months, an opportunity appeared, unexpected, unplanned, that doubled her income. Did the universe suddenly decide to bless her? No, she simply tuned her vibration to match the reality she desired. This is why your emotions are so important. They are your inner tuning fork. If you feel anxious, desperate, and fearful, your vibration is tuned to lack. But if you feel confident, grateful, and certain, your vibration is tuned to abundance, and money flows where the vibration matches. So how do you raise your vibration to align with $80,000? Words speak declarations of wealth. Not I hope, but I command. Thoughts guard your mind. Cancel thoughts of lack immediately and replace them with visions of abundance emotions. Practice feeling now what you would feel if the $80,000 were already in your hands. joy, peace, gratitude. Let those emotions vibrate through you daily. The universe does not respond to what you want. It responds to what you vibrate. If you keep vibrating need, you'll keep attracting situations that reinforce need. But if you command $80,000 and align your vibration to that reality, the universe must respond. Remember, money is energy, and energy responds to energy. The law of vibration is not a theory. It's a law. Just like gravity, it works whether you believe in it or not. The question is not whether it works, but whether you are tuned to the right frequency. So as you step into this journey of commanding $80,000, the first shift is not in your bank account. It's in your vibration. Once you change that, the money has no choice but to follow. One of the biggest reasons people fail to manifest money is because they are vague. They say things like, I just want more money, or I need financial help. But here's the problem. More could mean $10. Help could mean someone paying for your lunch. And while those things technically answer your request, they don't fulfill the true desire of your heart. Why? Because the universe reflects what you put out. And if your signal is fuzzy, your results will be fuzzy. That's why clarity is power. When you set your target at exactly $80,000, you are no longer sending mixed signals. You are declaring with precision what you expect the universe to deliver. It's like entering a destination in your GPS. If you just say, take me somewhere better, the system has no idea where to lead you. But if you punch in the exact address, $80,000, the route begins to unfold. Here's something most people don't realize. Your subconscious mind is the gateway between your desires and the universe. And your subconscious loves specificity. It doesn't understand vagueness. It understands clear instructions. When you declare, I command $80,000 to enter my life now, you're giving your subconscious a precise blueprint. Suddenly, your thoughts, emotions, and even your daily actions begin to reorganize themselves around that target. Let me give you a real-world example. Years ago, a man I met was drowning in debt. He kept saying, I just need more money. He would pick up extra jobs, hustle harder, but he never got ahead. Then someone challenged him to write down a clear number. He sat quietly, thought about his needs, his goals, and his dreams, and he settled on $50,000 every day. He declared, I command $50,000 to flow into my life now. Within a year, he received a settlement he wasn't expecting. Almost exactly $50,000 had he been vague. That alignment may never have happened. Now why? $80,000 because specificity creates magnetism. Maybe $80,000 clears your debt. Maybe it launches your dream business. Maybe it funds a move, a wedding, or the security your family needs. When you attach meaning to that number, it becomes emotionally charged. And emotion is the fuel of manifestation. The universe doesn't just respond to words. It responds to words infused with feeling. Let's break this down scientifically. Studies in neuroscience show that when you set a specific goal, your reticular activating system, RAS in the brain, begins filtering reality to bring that goal into focus. For example, if you decide you want to buy a red car, suddenly you start noticing red cars everywhere. They were always there, but your brain wasn't tuned to them. The same thing happens with money. When you command $80,000 with clarity, your brain begins spotting opportunities, connections, and pathways that align with that number. But here's the deeper layer. Numbers themselves carry energy. Ancient wisdom traditions, from numerology to sacred geometry, teach that numbers are not random. They are vibrational codes. By locking onto $80,000, you're not only setting a financial goal, you're tapping into a vibrational signature that aligns with abundance, completion, and overflow. Now, let's contrast clarity with confusion. If one day you say, I need $10,000, and the next day you say, actually, $100,000, and then the next you plead for anything I can get, you're sending mixed messages. Imagine calling a restaurant and changing your order every 5 minutes. The chef wouldn't know what to cook. The same principle applies with the universe. Confusion delays delivery. Consistency accelerates it. So here's your assignment. Write down the number $80,000. Put it where you can see it every day. On your phone screen, on your bathroom mirror, on a sticky note, at your desk. And don't just look at it, speak it, declare it, feel it. I command $80,000 to flow into my life now. The more specific and consistent you are, the stronger your signal becomes. Remember this. Vague desires create vague results, but precise desires create precise manifestations. $80,000 isn't just a number, it's a frequency. It's a destination. And when you set your inner GPS to that destination with clarity, the universe begins rearranging itself to take you there. So stop asking for some money. Stop hoping for a little more. Lock your focus, your words, and your energy on $80,000. That clarity is what turns a dream into a reality. Words are not just sounds. They are vibrations. They carry creative power. Every culture, every sacred text, every spiritual tradition affirms this truth. In the beginning was the Word. The universe itself responds to spoken vibration. That means your tongue is not just for communication. It is an instrument of creation. This is why asking often fails. When you say, please, I hope money comes to me. Your words project uncertainty. They carry the vibration of doubt. But when you declare, I command $80,000 to flow into my life now, those words ring with authority. The vibration is no longer weak. It is magnetic. Let's test this right now. Speak these 2 sentences out loud. I wish I had $80,000. I now command $80,000 into my life. It belongs to me and it flows to me now. Do you feel the difference? The first feels small, needy, and fragile. The second feels strong, certain, unshakable. That's the difference between asking and commanding. But here's the key. The universe responds not just to words, but to words infused with belief and emotion. You cannot simply parrot phrases like a robot. You must speak as if you are a king or queen making a royal decree. You must feel the ownership in your bones. When you say, I command $80,000 now, it should roll off your tongue with the weight of authority, as if you've already received it. Now, let's talk about structure. The most powerful command declarations include 3 elements: present tense ownership, speak as if it's already yours, emotional conviction, let your words carry feeling, clarity of amount and intention, be specific. Here's an example of a declaration you can speak daily. I now command $80,000 to manifest into my life. I am aligned with this money. It belongs to me by divine, right? And it flows into my experience. Now, I receive it with joy, with gratitude, and with certainty. Say that slowly. Imagine it. Feel it. The key is repetition with emotion. Speak it in the morning. Speak it at night. Speak it when you feel fear or doubt creeping in. Every time you speak it, you're tuning your vibration closer to the reality of $80,000. Let's break down why this works. I now command these words shift your posture from asking to authority. You're not hoping, you're directing energy. $80,000 to manifest into my life specificity gives the subconscious and the universe a clear target. I am aligned with this money. You're affirming that you're a vibrational match, removing resistance. It belongs to me by divine. Right. You're rejecting lack and claiming abundance as your natural state. I receive it with joy, with gratitude, and with certainty. You're sealing your command with the emotions that attract manifestation. Think about it this way. Every time you speak, you are programming your subconscious. And your subconscious is the bridge between your inner world and the external universe. If you feed it weak, vague words, you get weak, vague results. If you feed it commanding, powerful declarations, you open the door for powerful manifestations. Now, some people might say, but what if I don't feel it yet? What if I say the words, but I don't believe them? That's normal in the beginning. The belief grows with repetition. Just like going to the gym, at first your muscles feel weak, but with consistent training, they grow stronger. In the same way, your words train your mind and vibration. The more you declare, the more your subconscious begins to accept it as truth. And once your subconscious accepts it, your reality follows. Here's a practical tip. Write your command statement on paper. Place it where you'll see it daily. On your bathroom mirror, on your desk, even in your wallet. Each time you see it, speak it out loud. Don't just read it silently. Declare it, because the spoken word carries far more vibration than a silent thought. I've seen people transform their lives using this principle. One woman wrote her command for $20,000, declared it daily, and within weeks she received a bonus at work she hadn't expected. Another man commanded a specific figure to launch his business, and soon after an investor appeared. Did the money fall from the sky? Number, but their words shifted their vibration, which attracted the right people, opportunities, and circumstances. So here's your personal decree. I now command $80,000 to flow into my life. It belongs to me. It is mine by right. And I welcome it now with joy, gratitude, and certainty. Say it. Feel it. Repeat it daily. This is not asking. This is commanding. And when your words align with your belief, the universe has no choice but to deliver. Commanding the universe is not about sitting on your couch all day waiting for a bag of cash to fall through the ceiling. That's fantasy, not manifestation. Real manifestation is faith in motion. When you declare, I now command $80,000 into my life. You are not only aligning your vibration, you are also opening yourself to opportunities. But those opportunities require movement. Here's the truth. Faith without action is dead. You can declare all day long, but if your actions contradict your command, your energy collapses. Think of it like planting a seed. Speaking the words is planting, but watering, nurturing, and exposing the seed to light. That's your action. Without it, nothing grows. Let me illustrate this with a story. A man once prayed every day for financial breakthrough. He declared abundance. He spoke affirmations. He even visualized, but nothing changed. One day, someone challenged him. What are you doing with the opportunities in front of you? He realized that while he was commanding wealth, he was ignoring the new job application sitting in his inbox, dismissing small side projects, and avoiding networking events. In short, he wasn't moving. When he began to act, doors started opening within months. His income doubled. His words set the vibration, but his actions opened the flow. Faith is not just belief, it's demonstrated belief. If you say, I command $80,000, but then complain about bills, avoid opportunities, or sabotage your progress, you are canceling your command. But when your actions echo your words, the universe responds with acceleration. Here's how faith with action works in practice. Speak the command. Every day, declare, I now command $80,000 into my life. It belongs to me and it flows now. Expect opportunities. Faith doesn't ask if it knows when. Expect phone calls, connections, ideas, and doors to appear. Act on the nudge. Maybe someone mentions a business opportunity. Maybe you feel drawn to create something. Maybe you're inspired to apply for a grant or pitch an idea. These nudges are not random. They're the universe responding to your command. Act on them. Stay consistent. Don't waver between faith and doubt. Command with authority, then move as if it's already done. That consistency builds momentum. Let's make this even more real. Imagine you command $80,000 today. Tomorrow, a friend calls asking if you'd like to join them at a seminar. At first, you hesitate. It costs money, it feels inconvenient, but your spirit nudges you to go. At that seminar, you meet someone who becomes your business partner, or your client, or your investor. That's how the universe works. It doesn't drop money in your lap. It delivers connections, ideas, and opportunities. And when you take action, you unlock the flow. Faith with action also shows up in how you handle your daily habits. If you declare $80,000 but still waste hours scrolling social media, still spend recklessly, or still procrastinate, you're sending mixed signals. Your words say abundance, but your actions say disorder. The universe responds to alignment, not contradiction. So align your habits with your command. Start managing money wisely, treating opportunities seriously, and carrying yourself like someone who is already wealthy. There's also a psychological layer here. When you act on your command, you reinforce belief in your subconscious. The subconscious doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. So when you move as if $80,000 is already yours, your subconscious locks onto that as truth. Suddenly, your decisions, your energy, and even your posture shift. You become magnetic to the very thing you declared. Think of it like ordering at a restaurant. You don't say, I want pasta, and then sit there doubting the chef. You order. And then you prepare your fork and knife knowing the food is coming. That's faith in action. You command, and then you get ready. You don't sit idle. You prepare the table for what's on its way. So here's your practical challenge. After you declare your command for $80,000, ask yourself daily, what action today aligns with my command? It might be making a phone call, starting a project, or learning a skill. The action doesn't have to be dramatic. It just has to align. Each step signals to the universe. I am ready. I am serious, I believe. Remember, commanding without action is arrogance. Action without command is struggle. But command with action, that's unstoppable. So don't just speak it, move with it. Live as if $80,000 is already flowing into your life. Because the moment your words, your faith, and your actions align, the universe rushes to deliver exactly what you commanded. Commanding the universe for $80,000 is powerful. Declaring your authority with words, raising your vibration, and stepping into faith with action. These create momentum. But there's one silent enemy that can quietly sabotage all of it. Doubt. Doubt is like static on a radio. You might be broadcasting the right signal. I now command $80,000 into my life. But if you also allow doubt to creep in, the signal gets scrambled. The universe doesn't receive a clear instruction anymore. Instead of certainty, you're transmitting confusion. I want it, but maybe I won't get it. I believe, but what if it doesn't work? And confusion delays manifestation. Think of a farmer planting seeds. If every few days he digs up the soil to check if the seed is growing, what happens? He destroys the process. Doubt does the same thing to your command. Every time you question whether it's working, you uproot the seed you've planted. Here's the truth. The universe doesn't respond to half belief. It responds to certainty. You cannot command with one breath and cancel with the next. If you declare $80,000 in the morning but worry about bills all afternoon, you're pulling in two directions. One moment you're aligning with abundance. The next you're reinforcing lack. That tug of war keeps you stuck. Let's make this practical. After you speak your command, notice how your inner dialogue responds. Do you think, yes, it's done? Or do you immediately question, but how will it happen? What if it doesn't? That second voice is resistance. Resistance is the mental and emotional energy that pushes away the very thing you've called in. A man once told me he had been commanding money for months, but saw no change. When I asked about his inner thoughts, he admitted, honestly, I keep worrying if I'll fail. I keep checking my bank account, panicking, and doubting myself. That's the problem. His words were commands, but his vibration was fear. And fear always cancels faith. So how do you remove doubt and resistance? Catch negative thoughts immediately. The moment you hear yourself saying, "What if this doesn't work?" Stop. Replace it with, "It is working, even now." Don't let doubt finish its sentence. Detach from the how. Doubt often comes from trying to control the process. You think, where will the $80,000 come from? Who will give it to me? How will it arrive? But the how is not your job. Your job is to command and align. The universe handles the details. Let go of control and trust the unseen process. Use gratitude as a shield. Gratitude is the antidote to doubt. When you feel fear rising, start listing what you're grateful for. Gratitude shifts your vibration from lack to abundance. Dissolving resistance. Visualize completion. Instead of worrying, close your eyes and imagine the $80,000 already in your account. See the numbers on the screen. Hear yourself celebrating. Feel the relief and joy. When your mind wanders into doubt, redirect it into vision. Surround yourself with belief. If you constantly talk to people who are negative, skeptical, or dismissive of manifestation, doubt will creep in. Protect your energy. Surround yourself with voices, books, videos, and communities that reinforce faith. Think of doubt like a leak in a boat. No matter how much power you put into rowing, if there's a hole, the boat will sink. You don't need to row harder. You need to seal the leak. Removing doubt is sealing your vibration so that your command stays strong and undiluted. Now, let's talk about fear. Fear is doubt magnified. Fear says, not only might it not happen, but what if I'm stuck forever? What if I never escape this situation? Fear paralyzes action and blocks creativity. And here's the key. Fear and faith cannot coexist. They are opposites. Faith declares, "It is done." Fear whispers, "It's impossible." But here's the good news. Fear loses power the moment you shine light on it, speak against it. When fear whispers, "It won't happen," declare louder, "It already has." When fear says, "You're not worthy," declare, "I am worthy, and I receive with joy." One woman I know struggled with doubt while manifesting a large sum of money. Every time she commanded, she felt fear creep in. So she developed a practice. Every time fear spoke, she would smile and say, "Thank you, but you're wrong. My command is stronger than you." Over time, the fear weakened, her confidence grew, and within months, the exact financial breakthrough she declared showed up. So, here's your assignment. Guard your command like a treasure. Refuse to let doubt or fear dilute it. When doubt whispers, counter it immediately. When fear rises, replace it with gratitude and vision. Because the moment your command is free from resistance, the universe delivers with speed. Remember, you cannot command with authority and doubt with insecurity at the same time. One cancels the other. Choose which voice you will amplify. If you choose faith, if you choose certainty, then $80,000 is not a question of if, it's only a matter of when. Words are powerful. Commands spoken with faith are seeds planted in the soil of the universe. But here's the deeper layer. Your imagination and emotions water those seeds. Without them, the command stays dry and lifeless. The universe doesn't just respond to what you say. It responds to what you see and feel. Visualization is more than daydreaming. It is deliberately rehearsing your future until your mind accepts it as reality. The human brain doesn't know the difference between something vividly imagined and something physically experienced. Athletes use this truth all the time. Olympic sprinters close their eyes and mentally run their race. They imagine the sound of the gun, the feel of the track, the rhythm of their breath. Studies show their muscles even fire as if they're actually running. That's the power of visualization. So when you command $80,000, don't stop at words. See it, feel it, live in it. Imagine opening your bank app right now and seeing your balance jump by $80,000. What would the screen look like? Take a mental screenshot. See the numbers. Let your eyes widen with joy. Hear yourself laughing, maybe even crying with relief. Feel the tension leaving your shoulders. Imagine telling someone close to you, "It happened, the money came," and see their face light up. The more real this feels in your body, the faster the universe aligns to bring it. Here's why emotions are key. Money is not paper. It is energy. And energy responds to energy. If you command $80,000 with your words, but keep feeling stressed, fearful, or doubtful, you are sending mixed signals. But if you combine your words with emotions of gratitude, joy, and certainty, you become magnetic. You begin to vibrate at the frequency of $80,000. Think about tuning into a radio station if you want to hear music on 101.5 FM, but your dial is stuck on 98.3. No matter how much you beg, you won't hear it. You must tune your frequency. Visualization and emotional alignment are how you tune to the frequency of $80,000. Here's a simple but powerful exercise. Close your eyes, take 3 deep breaths, relax your body, picture the $80,000. Imagine your bank account filled. See the exact number or picture a check in your name for $80,000. Engage all senses. Hear the notification sound of the deposit. Smell the new leather of a car you buy with it. Feel the crisp bills in your hands. Taste the dinner you celebrate with. Feel it now. Don't wait for the money to come to feel happy. Generate the happiness right now. Say out loud, "Thank you, it is mine." Do this daily. And watch how your energy shifts. Opportunities, ideas, and people will begin to appear that align with your vision. Let me share a story. A woman once told me she needed $50,000 for her business. She did more than pray. She visualized. Every morning she saw herself signing the contract, shaking hands with investors, and depositing the check. She felt the relief and gratitude before it happened. Within weeks, she met someone unexpectedly who offered her not just $50,000, but $75,000. Her alignment made her magnetic. The same is possible for you, but here's the key. Visualization is not begging, it's rehearsing. Don't visualize with desperation. Don't imagine the $80,000 while thinking, "I hope this works." That energy is lack instead. Visualize with certainty, like an actor practicing a scene in a movie that's already been written. You're not creating something new. You're stepping into what already exists. Another important principle. Hold the vision, release the timeline. Don't demand. It must come by Friday or else. That's stress, not faith. Instead, trust the process. Keep the vision alive every day, but let the universe handle the exact timing. The money may come sooner than you expect or in a way you never imagined. Here's why this matters. When you visualize consistently, your subconscious mind begins to accept the $80,000 as real. And once your subconscious believes it, your actions naturally shift. You'll notice opportunities you used to ignore. You'll take bold steps without fear. You'll align decisions with abundance. In short, your inner world changes and your outer world follows. So let's practice right now. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine opening your bank app. The number reads higher than it ever has before. $80,000 deposited. Smile. Whisper, "Thank you." Feel your body relax as relief floods in. Let yourself laugh, even cry. That is emotional alignment. The universe is not moved by empty words. It is moved by words wrapped in vision, drenched in feeling, charged with certainty. When your command, your vision, and your emotions align, you stop hoping for $80,000. You start attracting it like a magnet. Commanding the universe for $80,000 is not about sitting back and waiting passively. Words, faith, visualization, these are powerful. But the final ingredient is just as essential: action. Action is the bridge between the invisible and the visible, between your command and your cash. The universe delivers through channels, not out of thin air. Imagine asking for water. You can pray, visualize, and command it all day. But unless you open a faucet or position a container under the rain, the water has nowhere to flow. Money works the same way. You've commanded $80,000. Now you must become a vessel that can receive it. Here's the key distinction. It's not about forced action, where you hustle in fear and exhaustion. It's about inspired action, steps that feel guided, aligned, and purposeful. Inspired action is the whisper in your spirit, nudging you to call that person, send that email, start that project, or attend that event. It doesn't always make sense logically, but it always feels like a pull in your heart, and often that small step leads to the very doorway where your $80,000 is waiting. Let me tell you a story. A man once commanded $100,000 for a business venture. He declared it, visualized it, aligned emotionally, but then he felt a nudge. Reach out to that old colleague. At first, he ignored it. It felt too random. But eventually, he listened. That colleague connected him to an investor who provided the exact funding he needed. Without action, his command would have stayed in the air, but action opened the channel. So how do you recognize inspired action? Listen to intuition. Inspired ideas often come as quiet thoughts or sudden flashes. They feel natural, almost obvious, yet powerful. Write them down and act on them quickly before doubt talks you out of it. Move in faith, not fear. Action rooted in fear says, I must do everything or it won't work. That's panic. Action rooted in faith says, I'll do this step because I feel led, and I know the universe is aligning the rest. Be willing to stretch. Inspired action often requires stepping out of your comfort zone. Maybe it's applying for a grant, pitching a client, creating a new income stream, or finally offering a skill you've been hiding. Remember, the $80,000 you want may already be connected to the talents you've been underestimating. Stay consistent. Sometimes your inspired action isn't one giant leap, but small daily steps. Making calls, learning a skill, showing up with persistence. Each step compounds until the breakthrough arrives. Here's another truth. The universe rewards movement. Imagine you're trying to steer a parked car. It doesn't move. But once it starts rolling, even slowly, it becomes steerable. Your action puts energy in motion, and the universe directs it toward the $80,000. Let me make this even more practical. Say you command $80,000. Soon after, you feel a nudge to explore freelancing, launch an online course, or approach a new business opportunity. You could dismiss it thinking, that's too small. I need $80,000, not $200. But here's the secret. The universe often starts with small doors that lead to bigger rooms. What begins as $200 can grow into $2,000, then $20,000, until the full $80,000 manifests. And here's the most powerful mindset shift. Become the person who already has the $80,000. Ask yourself daily, if I already had this money, how would I think? How would I act? What choices would I make? Then start living that way now. If you'd be generous, start giving now, even small amounts. If you'd invest wisely, start budgeting now. If you'd walk confidently, lift your head and walk that way now. This is not pretending, it's alignment. When your behavior matches your command, the universe has no choice but to deliver, because you've already become the version of yourself who holds $80,000 with ease. One woman told me she began dressing and carrying herself as though she was already wealthy. Even before her breakthrough, she didn't overspend, but she held herself with confidence. She began networking differently, speaking with boldness, and stepping into opportunities she used to avoid. Within months, a contract worth over $80,000 landed in her lap. Why? Because she became the vessel before the money came. So here's your challenge. After you command, after you visualize, after you align emotionally, take the step you feel pulled toward. It might be small. It might seem unrelated. But trust that it is part of the path. Every inspired action is a thread, And when woven together, those threads create the tapestry of your $80,000 reality. Say this out loud. I am not waiting for $80,000. I am moving as if it is already mine. I take inspired steps and the universe flows resources through me. Because the truth is, money doesn't chase those who sit still. It flows to those who are moving in alignment. When you act, you don't force the universe. You cooperate with it. You become the channel, the vessel, the living magnet for the very thing you commanded.